Hello again, I'm Coyote Jack, and I heard this one, but honestly, well, let's make this one quick, it's not that important. So let's say, Toby Fox, dude, I can supervise or hire a Latin translator on my games because it's not quote unquote my original vision. But Toby Fox with the Japanese, but you know what? The Japanese, they have more respect for translations, they don't do localization, and I have seen. Mm, a lot of Spanish people doing work translations too. So they started to make this drama. Toby Fox. He created Undertale and Deltarune, but he just stuck to English and Japanese. Japanese because probably he knows that they could potentially sell his game there, and actually he did because it's capitalizing of the old RPG genre with also adding new stuff like road-like elements, the way how they introduced the combat, and yeah, the story that this guy offered, and like around what is it, 2014, is when he released Undertale, unless I'm mistaken. And yeah, he succeeded both the West and also found success in Japan. He made a name himself. But yeah, at one point he denounced his own creation because you see a lot of fucking left-art furries just doing the usual behavior. But this controversy starts because they are asking him for a Spanish translation, and they demand from him to hire La- uh, Latin Americans to do translations, and just like you can do that with AI. One thing, you don't need to hire translators. And also, like, why is this behavior, man? That's what I don't get. Like, you know, I have a mix back when it comes to translations because I have seen a lot of localization when it comes to not only from stuff being made in Japan and then butchered in the West with the English translation, and also happened with the Spanish one, even for good stuff that was created in the West. And yeah, it was fucking disgusting, man. But because most of that stuff came from Spain, those butchered translations came from there. So even at that point, you learn the language or find your way. Oh well, even if when you find out why it is the language like this, you can see some definition, and it happens everywhere when a stuff is created in its origin, of when in original place. So Toby Fox says that he's not going to do it. He doesn't have plans, not only in Spanish but also not in Portuguese, and he stated that he cannot supervise the translations that fits with the original vision. And that's the thing. If some translations, even you could say he could simply use AI, and that's it. Yeah, but probably he knows that a lot of his fan base and supporters have AI derangement syndrome. At this point, he said, no, don't bother with that. But you know, that's my opinion. So, and you're seeing this statement saying this. A message to for my fans in Latin America. Plain text isn't the image, alt text is you need it for translations. So, yeah, the more among the context here. 3. Unfortunately, there are no translations for Underland in other language besides Japanese. That includes Spanish and Brazilian, Portuguese, but also every other language, Chinese, Korean, Russian, French, German, Italian, and more. Probably Japanese because he he found appeal in there. He said, you know what? I wonder if I can actually be recognized in Japan by offering my product. And actually, he did. He did. I know it sucks that there are no other official translations for Undertale, but I want to make it clear that this isn't because I have a grudge against other countries. And look, also Latin American need to fucking just stop being bitches. Even with English language, I mean, you have Spanish and you have many ways to do the translation. Now, and even you have patch notes, you have fan translators that actually care. You can do that. It also it has happened in the past when you have also fan translators, even in Spanish, that also they were committed, even with older PSP games that never released in Japan. So demanding someone like that, dude. It also the game came on PC. You can mod it yourself. But let's continue with the statement. It is because if I release something official, I wanted to match my vision. I was only able to do this for the Japanese version because I know Japanese myself. So he knows the language, man. And I worked very close with our brilliant translator to truly check the text. I'm not against official translations for other languages if we could make it work the same way. In the past, I have to look into various options with my publisher. 8 or 4, but nothing has come out of that yet. Maybe I should try a different approach. I'm very happy that there are unofficial translations on PC. What did I say? Even this guy is discouraging. At this point, you have a lot of Latin American retards that blew up this out of proportion for no fucking reason. Yeah, there was no fucking reason, man. Considering I don't understand other languages, letting fans interpret the game without the burden of being quote unquote officially perfect is amazingly helpful. Duh! Translation, man, you can do that. Even if you can do that one of your own, I encourage you. I'm not against that. And he's why they are getting so bitchy attacking him, like for real, man. You like this mouth breathing retard that we were looking here, like, hey, look, I'm sucking the Japanese dick. Like for real, man. Like what the fuck is wrong with these people? Yeah, like their fucking neurons are not working. And this one. As for Deltaron, it's just not feasible from a development standpoint to support other languages right now, since it will make the game take longer to come out. And even English is a lot of people know the language, or probably it has something to do with some stupid hated. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, like even this guy, Toby Fox, said, I encourage your fan translation, man. You can go for it, but I don't have time to do this. I am focusing only in two languages, English and Japanese. That's it. That's it. And even if he doesn't know Spanish perfectly, it's understandable, to be honest. That's perfectly understandable. And if those translators can interpret his vision through the English original language, they can do that. Nothing is holding them, but demanding like, well, you have options, and this guy already stated. That's it. Thanks for watching, and please take care.